Everyone, it's a Friday stream day, and today I'm actually doing this because I like PBO. I wanted to see what it does, but also because I wanted to confirm some leaks, because unfortunately PBO is one of the least well-kept secrets in the history of Vanguard. If you've seen some pictures where there was some bad photoshopping done, a lot of people already even knew the first effect, so I just really wanted to see what the full effect was and confirm if it was true that PBO was not going to be very good. But, you know, stream came and we have the full effect of PBO now confirmed. So, first skill, the one that was widely known, is that con effect during your turn. If you have a Phantom Blaster Dragon in your soul, this unit gets plus 10k and its original critical becomes 2. So you cannot use Force 2 on this, doesn't make a difference. Second effect is, on attack, counterblast 1 and retire any number of your rearguards. Your opponent chooses the same number of his or her rearguards as the number of rearguards retired for the cost and retires them. Then you search your deck for up to 1 blaster in its card name, call it to the rearguard circle, shuffle your deck, and the called unit gets power 10k until the end of turn. So it enables a 4th attack, but otherwise, comparing it to a lot of the other effects that were released in like Silver Dust and Butterfly, it feels kind of meh, you know? Like, it's the theme of the entire set so far is that it feels like it's been nerfed quite a lot. But interestingly, it's not like any of the effects are put behind a grade 3 wall, except the first one. You definitely need a road of Phantom Blaster Dragon because, you know, flavor cross strides, but it feels a bit slow. The retire effect, what do you want to retire in this metagame? And okay, getting the 4th attack seems pretty good, but otherwise, yeah, it's just doesn't seem to be that amazing, for sure, because, you know, if you look at it, it's like a slow effect. You want to grind the game out a bit, but this format right now is not about grinding, it's about going face and going fast. So going slow in the fast lane is just a recipe for disaster. So I'm not too hyped about Overlord, but I do like its art. A lot of people just always complain about the art. I like the art personally, so props for that. Moving on, there were other cards that were released, and they were actually slightly more interesting. So next one is Bende. Yeah, alright, so her effect is that she's 5k. She's 5k, but she has another one. It is Act. If your Vanguard is Blaster Dark, you may Soul Blast 1 as a cost, retire this unit, search your deck for a Phantom Blaster Dragon, write it as stand, and you cannot use its act abilities until the end of turn. Well, for that turn, you cannot use its act abilities. So, what this does is it gives Shadow Paladins a superior ride option. And that seems pretty good for premium because, you know, you get to, if you go first, you get to stride first. And it's not gated behind a counter blast, it's gated behind a soul blast. So, you can't be stopped. You cannot be stopped. It's also 5k, so that means the main searches this out as well. And the only problem is you just need to have a Blast to Dark Vanguard, which kind of gets solved by another card coming up. But, you know, spoilers. The biggest problem I see with this is that, what do you do when you superior ride up? Like, you get the first stride. What do you do as Shadow Paladin? Your stride option seems kind of junk. I think maybe your best option is you might just stride into you know, Chain Rancard and copy your grade 3. Because if you're doing that, your opponent is definitely not going to give you any counter blast to do like more fesses and go off like that. So unless they're not very smart, in that case, then you win. But yeah, what do you do as Shadow Paladin when you superior ride up? It has that problem. With Gold Paladin, you just do everything. But yeah, for Shadows, I'm not sure what you really do. So let me know in the comments what you guys think, how you can abuse this card. The other interesting thing is that the Phantom Blaster Dragon still gets its force, but it doesn't lose its effect. So it's not like it's effectless. So, you know, it doesn't become a vanilla. So it doesn't get buffed by Cyclone. Moving on, the last card revealed today on stream was Damfod Dragon? Sounds a bit weird, but his effect is 5k as well. But also, if your Rearguard Circle, if your Vanguard has Blaster in its name, this unit gets 5k. And then second effect is Act cost Soul Blast 1, retire this unit, search your deck for Blaster Dark, and add it to hand, shuffle your deck. So you can technically, if you draw Nemain on your first turn, you can Nemain, get this card out, pop it to get a Blaster Dark, and you've confirmed your Blaster Dark ride next turn. Then you ride it, your Nemain taps again for the grade 1 to spear ride up. So just by running like one of each, it's kind of like a toolbox for your Nemain, and your whole deck is just super reliant on Nemain, which is either a good thing or a bad thing, because Nemain is going to probably go up in price again. Pretty much, Shadow Paladin is just Nemain.deck so far. So interesting thing is also, you can run even more 5Ks in your deck now. Nearly everything is fine. You can run the Eagle as well, that's 5K too. You can run like, the only thing that's not 5K is your grade 3s. It just means that, you know, your grade 1 power line is going to suck, your grade 2 power line is going to suck. You're going to ride 5Ks and just feel awful. But yeah, those are the 3 cards released downstream. Interesting fact is that with the PBO cross ride, if you plan it out, right, so PBO himself, let's go back a bit. PBO himself gets a natural 2 crit, okay? That means that when you ride PBD and PBO, you can put if you want to put Force 2, then you can put the Force 2 on the sides. That means your whole front row gets crits. Now, the problem with that I see is that your power lines feel pretty weak. So far, I haven't really seen anything that any cards super buff your power lines up a lot. So if you're running Force 2, I can see an issue where your power isn't big enough or big enough to like put pressure on your opponent. But then if you're going Force 1, then you've got this like really awkward, my Vanguard is created, my Cyclones can just be guarded, like no guarded, because they just do 1 damage, etc, etc. So there's that weird issue going on there. Now, his second effect lets you search a blast. Let's see what good blasters are available for us to search. So let's take a look. So firstly, we got Blaster Dagger. His effect is just when its attack or the attack it boosted hits a Vanguard, you can put this unit into Soul, and then your opponent chooses one of his or her reguards and retire. So pretty junk. I think this is not worthy to be included at all. Unlucky. Second one is Blaster Javelin. Now this one's actually pretty decent. Old school. In place you have another grade 1 or less reguard. You counterblast 1, draw a card, and it gets 3k until end of turn. So yeah, your counterblast 1 becomes the counterblast 2 that lets you draw a card. The only thing is that you might be using counterblast a bit too quickly. But I think this is overall a better pick than a lot of other choices that we have. Blaster Axe, grade 2, vanilla, 10k shield, easy. I think this is also an okay choice. You can like run one of this as well and just search it out and just get that extra defense. Hits 20k by itself with the effect. Blaster Dark, we're definitely running a Blaster Dark, but you know, Blaster Dark actually I don't think is a great search target because he doesn't really do anything. He gets a random retire that your opponent chooses, but overall it's just like extra Blaster Darks in your deck that you want to get rid of. Lastly, I think this is the last one. No, we got a few more actually. So we got Blaster Rapier. When it attacks a Vanguard, if you have 3 or more units of Blaster in its card name, this unit gets plus 5k until end of turn. So it hits 14, so it hits a nice number. And then another second effect is when its attack hits a Vanguard, when you counterblast 1, your opponent chooses one of his or her reguards and retires it. So I think the second effect is kind of not very good, but the first effect is pretty nice because you hit 14, although she's 9k base. But you need 3 blasters, which is kind of pushing it a bit, so I don't know, like it just feels like a bad inclusion. Lastly, we've got things like Phantom Blaster Dragon, which is pretty much just gonna call it because it hits 23, so it hits numbers. Not bad because you're gonna be running this card anyway, and it'll just hit 23 by itself, so probably that, and then your Overlord as well. So those are pretty much all your search targets. Overall, I guess if you're a Shadow guy, look out for Lawad. That probably might be better. I don't know. When I'm looking at Overlord so far, I'm just going like, it's not amazing. It could be worse. I mean, maybe. It could be worse. And I guess interesting effects in premium with the grade 2. So we'll see how that works out. We'll do some testing for that and see if premium has anything to offer those 2 new cards for premium. Now, Lastly, this card wasn't revealed on stream, but we might as well talk about it, alright? We might as well talk about it, because people have been talking about it. We have a new grade 2, and it is Drag Wizard Leofold, or Leofail, sorry. And then its effect is basically, a bad Columbard. That's what people have been calling it. So, auto Vanguard or Rearguard Circle, when placed, you may counterblast 1, search a deck for up to 1 in grade 1 card, call it to an open Rearguard Circle, and shuffle your deck. So, this card will basically guarantee you to always at least have a main on your field, and then Premium will guarantee you to have a Zazan. If you're running Zazan or not. But the most important thing yet is you get your domains, and that's great. That's excellent. Is that grade 2 though, so you miss like 1 turn of it, but it's as good as it gets. So this card just might make Shadow Paladin better, but we have to see what Luard does, and if Luard is just better than PBO or not. And if not, then I don't know. Have fun spending your money buying Shadow Paladins. So that's it from me. Slightly disappointing, but now at least we confirmed what the effect is for PBO, and yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think. It could be worse, but it could be better. I guess that's what I have to say in terms of the VRs shown so far. This is definitely not the best, but not the worst, because that's what dinosaurs are for. Yeah, so let me know in the comments what you guys think. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you guys in the next video. Bye.